All right, so what downhill skills took you the longest time to master when you transitioned from moto to downhill?
Is pedaling considered a skill?
There he is.
What's up?
Nice.
We meet again.
I don't know. John can't figure out how to answer the phone.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, there we go.
How do you hang up? There's the hang up.
Who's the old man? John's gone.
John.
Hey, could you go to Starbucks or something and get some good internet?
Oh shoot, hold on. My camera stopped. Let me read that again.
Is this how all the interviews go with you guys? Or do they go way smoother? I feel like they go way smoother.
No.
They've all been a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
There's
interesting.
always one guy that ruins everything.
Yeah. It's pretty obvious. One of us is doing this from a van.
Jake's got internet in his van.
What's on your face? What's that?
It's on your face.
Quarantine life, bro. It's been a while. I have not shaved in a month.
Yeah.
For a hairy guy, I grow the worst beards.
Yeah.
I look like I have scabies or something. Like it's all patchy.
I thought you'd have like the George Clooney salt and pepper for sure.
No, it's like 90% pepper and then a patch of salt somewhere.
Whatever, it looks like 90% salt.
You're like a snow leopard, the most rare animal in the world.
It's going to be the least productive talk ever.
I mean, I think first everyone would really just enjoy hearing an update from both of you, like what isolation is looking like, how your season has changed, what you're doing to keep busy and be training and testing, all that stuff. Just a life update.
Give me your life update, John.
On my life update, in terms of like work life, it's definitely slowed. We're not, but as a company, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and they're on like full skeleton crew. What?
Oh no, we lost you completely.
Come on!
Every time with us. Oh, it's
Can you just text a response?
Come on, Aaron knows.
life at the moment, yeah, it's been definitely different. And I think since Andorra finally just got canceled, that's definitely changed it up a little bit. Because before, every time a race would get canceled, we still had a race in a month or two. So you're just kind of like, okay, I just got to try to stay sharp here and keep going. But now, we've potentially got 4 months now until the next World Cup. So it's definitely time to kind of regroup on the training, put together a new game plan, and just kind of start the build again. So when it comes to the racing, that's that. I mean, obviously it's been a bummer, but it's just what we're doing right now. And then as far as life goes, it's just been really busy because a lot of people are kind of struggling right now. And a lot of brands are we're just trying to be productive right now with the off time. So I've definitely been really involved with some of my sponsors and some of the projects we're working on, and even kind of a few of them have allowed me to kind of come inside the company and kind of see how it works and be able to almost become sort of an employee in a different way of some of these brands. And we're working together pretty closely because of limited resources right now and limited people. So I've just tried to help wherever I can. So I've definitely been busy with phone calls and emails.
Do you have to reassess your training program and shift timelines in a certain direction so that, during the season you don't really gain any fitness, huh? Or strength, you're just managing what you have?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, you try to make little gains, but it's nothing crazy. You're just trying to stay fresh and make little improvements. I think right now, because we put in such a big push for that first World Cup,
yeah,
had a bit of a break after the World Cup anyways. If we would have raced it, my plan was to really kind of come into that first one strong and then take a little bit of a rest, or at least ease the training off a little bit for a week or two after that race and then kind of start again. So since we didn't race, I ended up doing that a week early. to try to rest a little bit, and then I kind of started the build again, but it was hard because we're kind of shooting at a moving target. But now it looks like we're for sure racing into August, beginning of September. So now, I mean, I'll just basically restart what I did 4 months ago, but I have a lot better base on right now, so I'm just gonna try to keep building, but
Yeah.
I don't want to burn out, so it'll be a little bit of a balance, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's good.
Yeah,
At
that's
least we
cool.
can get to Europe so John can have some interviews.
Dude, I don't know what it is.
But it's good to have you there, just like so that we know you're kind of there.
Turns out I am just a pretty face.
Outside of bikes, have you developed any new hobbies during isolation?
I haven't honestly had extra time. Like, things have been more busy than usual, especially the last 3 weeks have been like maybe the most busy weeks of my life. It's been crazy. But we did go to Big Bear last weekend, and me and my woman over here, we painted for 30 hours over 2.5 days. No, 28
Ooh.
a week. It was insane. I wouldn't call that a hobby, but
Has racing and winning changed your outlook on mountain biking as a sport?
I guess you just get exposed to like everything. If you're deep into racing, like you get to understand the industry because you get to build relationships with the brands and a lot of the people within the brands, and you get to travel. So you see riders from all parts of the world and all different types of riding terrain. So I'd say you get a really well-rounded perspective, because if you only rode your local trails, you know, every riding scene is a little bit different. So you get to kind of see mountain bikes on a broader level, and I think that's a cool thing. So I don't know like how it would change your perspective, is besides it just kind of broadens your perspective, I guess.
Have you ever used bike as solely an escape or a hobby?
Yeah, I would say most of my life I've always been racing competitively. Like I started racing BMX competitively when I was 4, and then there was a time when I wasn't riding bicycles, but I was riding motorcycles, and then back to bicycles. So for the most part, I've always been competing, but just because that's been what I've loved to do. Like if I stopped racing tomorrow, I would ride probably more than I ride now, because I'd be less focused on specific training, and I would just be riding a ton for fun with kind of no goals in mind.
Yeah.
But I did ride. There was a few years when I worked normal jobs from like age 17 to 20 after motocross and before downhill. And I did ride like purely recreational then, but I was into 20-inch BMX bikes and like riding skate parks and doing like downtown missions till 3 o'clock in the morning, like street riding, and like, dude, we would every single day. It was epic. Those are some really fun years of my life. Yeah, we would just ride all day.
Yeah.
Food and drink Arizona iced teas.
Yeah. Do you ever touch 20-inch bikes anymore?
I have one in my garage.
Okay.
And I've ridden it a handful of times, but I'm not going to lie, dude. I don't know how I used to ride those things like I did. Because
It's terrifying.
after riding mountain bikes, they are so sketchy. And I remember like 180ing off of like 8 stairs and just landing flat over and over again and being totally fine. If I ride up a curb with a 20-inch now, I feel like my friggin' knees are going to blow out. I was getting old for this. We used to ride brakeless, like big dirt jumps and do tricks. I'm like, nope, that's not happening anymore.
If you could just pick one track to race this year, what track would you pick?
Oh man, I would say Leo Gang World Champs, because it's kind of my track and it's World Champs there this year, so I'm really excited for that. I just like it about that place. There's so many good tracks though. I will say Maribor last year was probably like top 3 funnest race tracks I've ever ridden. Like I would actually just go there and do runs on that track. It had such a good flow. Like it was a fun track to ride. I don't know. I get asked that a lot. Like, what's your favorite track? And I think there's 2 answers. Like one would be a good race track. Like Val would be one of my favorite race tracks. but I wouldn't say I would ever just go there on a Saturday and just bang out laps for fun. Like,
No, I don't think anybody would say that.
yeah, so I would say like funnest tracks to ride. Like, I don't know, South Africa was pretty fun, smooth, a lot of jumps, it's cool. But for a racetrack like Val di Sole and some of the earlier ones, good. I'm looking forward to Leger. I missed that last year, and this track looks like my type of track.
I think you'd like that track.
Yeah,
And the whole thing, it's just like an easy place to be.
Yeah, we spent that 1 week in Morzine, 2 years ago, and that was like, it was so cool. It was such a fun place.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Nice.
Hey, I gotta show you guys something. Hopefully my phone doesn't tweak out.
I hope it does. So
When Clay was staying with me the other week, he introduced me to these little gems, and they've really changed my life. Has anybody heard of these?
No.
They're from here.
Dude, what have I been doing?
Those things are amazing.
What is it?
They're called bits. They're like oatmeal cookies, ice cream sandwiches that are like dipped in chocolate. So they're like, there's hard chocolate all the way around them.
And then,
where do you get these?
quite big.
Wow.
Or I've been walking by them my whole life and never knew.
Man.
Wow.
So does that mean this is replacing donuts as your favorite dessert currently?
Whoa, let's not replace them. Let's just add it to the arsenal. Get crazy.
I was trying to find that video stuff from when we went golfing.
Oh man, there are a few things in life that I stuck with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably want to
I hit the shed at the driving range 3 times last time we were there. I have a gift for slicing balls, man. Like if you hit the jumbo bucket of balls, there's like 60 balls in there. I'll slice 60 in a row. Like, I won't even hit 1 out of 60 straight. It's like impressive.
You hit the shed 3 times in a row. You hit the shed probably like 6 times.
Yeah. And to give you some context, to hit the shed, you have to slice it about 100 feet to the right, and it has to go over a net that's like 50 feet tall. So I cleared the net like off to the side.
Yeah.
Like you're a couple 100 feet away from the pin at that point of where you want to hit.
Is it kind of refreshing, though, to be bad at something?
It's kind of funny at first, but then the competitive side comes out and start to get angry.
This is why I like golf, because I'm not good at it, but I'm better than Aaron at it.
Yeah. It's horrible. Nice,
Sweet.
boy.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you taking the time and answering some questions.
Couple of efforts, but we got it done. Dude.
Yeah, I think we got John's internet connection solid now too.
Yeah, it's finally coming
Just in
on.
time.
Look at that. So I have my phone set up on top of the wine fridge, and I'm sitting on. Look, I'm sitting on this little chair.